She didn't hire a lawyer to get back at him. She hired one to record the truth in a way that would last forever, be legal, and be in front of a judge who couldn't be charmed, dismissed, or talked over like she had been for 23 years. Kody Brown's whole life was based on one simple idea. The women who loved him would always choose silence over war. He was right for 20 years. Christine Brown walked into a gray stone courthouse in a deep burgundy blazer on the morning of the trial. She put a 47-page document on the table and showed that the loudest person in the room isn't always the most dangerous. It's the person who has been quietly writing things down. What happened in that courtroom over the next 6 days didn't just end a marriage. It put an end to a myth. It showed a money trail that no one was supposed to find. It put 2 sister wives on the stand against the man they all used to call their husband. And it showed one document, 2 pages, 1 signature, and no witnesses, that Kody Brown had been praying would never see the light of day. He should have prayed more, because Christine wasn't the only one who had been paying attention. There were other people who had been waiting too, and she wasn't the only one who finally said, "That's enough." This is the story of the trial that tore the Brown family apart from the inside out, and the women who made it happen. For the next 40 minutes, stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not what you think it is. And before we move on, please leave a word in the comments that describes Christine Brown. Before this story changes your mind, I want to know what you think. It starts off quietly, like most terrible stories do. On a Tuesday morning, Christine Brown is standing at her kitchen sink and looking out at the mountains in Utah. For the first time in 23 years, she is completely and irrevocably done. Not done being mad. Not dramatic. Done. Done now. The kind of done that settles into your bones after years of slowly being erased from your life. She picks up the phone and calls her lawyer. She says, "I want to move on. Everything." Kody's third wife was Christine. She was the loud, funny, and emotional heart of the Brown family. Her kids were drawn to her. The cameras were crazy about her. Kody also seemed to for a long time. But something changed. At first, slowly, then all at once. There was a name for that change. That name was Robyn. Christine's lawsuit, which was 47 pages long, hit the internet like a bolt of lightning. Bad behavior with money, manipulation of feelings, agreements made under duress, isolation on purpose. And one line, hidden on page 31, went viral in a matter of hours. Made to feel like a nobody in a family that said it was a model of love and acceptance, not a person. Kody's answer was quick and tone-deaf. He called the claims a sad attempt to change the past. People on the internet did not like this. Old clips from shows came back. The comment sections went crazy. People who had been watching for years were grimly satisfied when their suspicions were confirmed in court. But what people say online is one thing. A courtroom is a whole different thing. Christine walked into the gray stone courthouse with her spine straight and her jaw set. She was wearing a deep burgundy blazer. Kody came 20 minutes later and didn't even look at her. There was no going back now, no matter what was coming. The first witness that no one expected walks into the courtroom, and everyone holds their breath. It's not a lawyer. It's not an expert in money. It's not even a member of the family. It's the Brown family's old bookkeeper. Gerald Foss is a quiet man. Age, 61. Eyeglasses. He held a manila folder under his arm like it had something radioactive in it. He takes the oath, sits down, and before Dana can even ask her first question, Kody's lead lawyer is already standing up and objecting. With just one look, Judge Engel shuts him up. What Gerald Foss had in that folder would change everything the Brown family had said in public about how their money worked. Dana opens up slowly, in a planned way. She shows Gerald the timeline, which includes the LLCs, the property transfers, and the accounts. Gerald speaks in a flat, careful tone, like a man who has been waiting years to say these things out loud and is determined not to rush it. She then asks about the transfers that took place in 2019. Gerald stops for a moment, adjusts his glasses. He says quietly, "There were funds moved from a jointly held account that Kody Brown didn't know about. I put a flag on it. I was told not to bring it up again." "Who told you?" Dana wants to know. Gerald stares straight at Kody Brown. "By him." The gallery goes wild. Judge Engel hits her gavel. Christine sits perfectly still, with her hands folded and her eyes straight ahead. But her jaw tightens just a little, which is the only sign of the composure she's been building for months. Kody leans over to his lawyer and whispers something quick and sharp. Robyn, who is sitting behind him, has turned completely white. Gerald Foss isn't done yet. He reaches into that manila folder and pulls out a second document that no one in that courtroom has ever seen before. No one but Kody. The paper hits Dana's desk like a bomb. Gerald Foss slowly and carefully smooths it out with both hands, like a man does when he knows everyone in the room is watching. This is a transfer agreement, 3 years before Christine officially ended the marriage. Kody Brown signed it, allowing the transfer of important shared assets to a separate LLC that is only registered in Robyn's name. Christine had never seen it before. No one ever told me it was there. Her lawyer had. This was the paper that Dana had been using to build her whole case, and Kody had no idea she already had a copy. The table for the defense becomes stiff. Kody's lawyer asks for a break right away. Without a second thought, Judge Engel says no. Dana turns back to Gerald, who is calm as still water. "Did Kody Brown ever sign this deal?" "No." "Did she ever know about this transfer?" "No." "Did you tell your client, Kody Brown, that not including a spiritual spouse in a financial decision that is made together could be considered misconduct?" Gerald's voice doesn't change. "I told him 3 times. In writing." Someone in the gallery gasps loudly. A reporter writes quickly. Robyn Brown, who is calm, well-dressed, and composed, is gripping the edge of her seat so tightly that her knuckles turn white. Christine finally turns around. Just a little bit. It was just enough to look Robyn in the eye for the first time since the trial started. She doesn't seem angry. She doesn't look like she's won. She looks like a woman who has finally been trusted. Kody looks at the table. His big, charming energy, the kind that helped him build 4 marriages, have 18 kids, and a TV empire, is suddenly and completely gone. Gerald Foss just told the truth. And the next person who is supposed to testify is someone who lives even closer to home. The next witness comes in, and for the first time during the trial, Christine's hand shakes. It's because of Janelle. Brown Janelle, the second wife.
The one that works. The woman who had been able to stay with this family longer than almost anyone else by keeping her head down and not saying what she thought. She and Christine had been close once. Really close. Like when they went through hard times together, talked late at night, and raised their kids together. But the last 2 years had been far away. Not easy. Full of quiet moments. And yet, here she is. Going to that stand on foot. Not Kody. To Christine.
Christine and everyone else in that courtroom didn't know Janelle was coming. Dana had kept it a secret on purpose. Because surprise witnesses are more important in a different way. You can't get ready for them. They can't be proven wrong ahead of time. They just walk in and tell the truth, and the defense has to deal with it right away. Janelle sits down in the witness chair, folds her hands, and looks straight at Dana. She doesn't look at Kody. Not even once. Not for the whole testimony. Dana asks her about the money in the family. Janelle answers exactly, step by step, with dates, amounts, and decisions she saw with her own eyes. Then Dana moves. Did Kody Brown ever thank Christine for what she did for the family? Janelle stops for a moment. Something moves across her face. Maybe old sadness. Anger from the past. No, she says softly. Not in the ways that were important. The courtroom is completely quiet. The lawyer for Kody makes an objection. It is not allowed by Judge Engel. Janelle goes on. Her voice stays even, but her eyes are doing something else entirely. Then Dana asks the question that makes Robyn stand up and leave her seat. Did Kody ever tell you to keep quiet about what you knew, Janelle? Janelle doesn't answer right away. She looks at her hands, breathes. When she looks back up, something in her face has changed, as if a door she has kept locked for years has finally opened. Yes, she says. He did. The courtroom goes off. 3 reporters are typing at the same time. Someone in the gallery whispers, "Oh my God," loud enough for everyone to hear. Judge Engel raises her gavel, but the damage is already done. The mood in the room has changed completely. Kody Brown doesn't move at all. Not the calmness of innocence. The stillness of a man who is watching something fall apart and knows he can't stop it. Janelle Brown just swore that what Christine had been saying for years was true, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Dana leans forward, steady and measured. Could you tell the court what happened during that conversation? Janelle slowly nods. She says it was 2 years before Christine left. An evening that was quiet. She and Kody were the only ones in the kitchen. She had raised concerns about Christine not being able to make financial decisions and about the growing imbalance she was seeing every month. She had chosen her words carefully. Language of diplomacy. The way a woman spoke when she had learned how to make hard truths easier to swallow. Kody had heard. Then he looked at her and said, in a calm, almost kind voice, "This stays between us, Janelle." Christine doesn't have to carry things she doesn't understand. Janelle quietly repeats those words into the microphone, her heart breaking. Christine doesn't have to carry things she doesn't understand. Christine shuts her eyes for 3 seconds. Then he opens them. Keep going straight. Not broken. Robyn's lawyer is already writing a motion. If Janelle's testimony is true, which it is, the whole defense story is falling apart right now. Mary Brown is sitting in a car outside the courthouse, thinking about whether or not to go inside.